What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers are currently on a 5-day kind of rest in between games. They're going to take on the Utah Jazz for their next game after coming off of a huge win against Utah in the LeBron debut. And I want to kind of talk about this little 5-day stand because I really do think that it is very important to kind of recalibrate, right? Get everything back in order. Lakers have had such a great start to the season. Right, they have been one of the better teams without LeBron all year, right, with several players in and out of the lineup. I mean, we had games where we had like 5 active guys and then a bunch of G League guys, right? So, Lakers have had kind of their injury woes, guys kind of in and out. Lakers, part of it is just the Lakers have been overly cautious, but it also helps when you're able to still win. Right? Like, it's hard to be overly cautious when, you're 4-11, right? Then when you're 11-4, right? It's like, hey, let's kind of, take our time bringing these guys back. But as of right now, we have a fully healthy roster, knock on wood. Hopefully it stays that way. Obviously, guys are going to miss games here and there over the course of the season, which is fine. But just to have this to kind of, because again, you're getting all these guys back healthy. LeBron, Gabe Vincent. You even have, Luka, who kind of got banged up in that first Utah game. I mean, he was getting hit and smacked and all kinds of stuff all over the place. Austin Reeves, right, was dealing with kind of the growing injury and stuff like that. This just gives the Lakers time to kind of, mend a little bit, get some treatments, kind of have guys, because Lakers have played a lot of games. I mean, you look at even some of the top teams in the Western Conference, Lakers have played 2 games more than those teams. So they've had a lot of games kind of crammed together that the Lakers now need to kind of, are going to, again, have an extensive run here through November and then into December, obviously, to close out the year. I still think Lakers need a couple kind of quality moves. I don't think the Lakers are far. And look, even as is, I don't think the Lakers, I don't think anyone should be shocked if the Lakers won the NBA championship as is. But if we can get that like clear-cut starting level 3, even if it is like an Andrew Wiggins type, and then ideally if we could get kind of that, secondary kind of wing guy, right? Like a Matisse Thybulle, a Haywood Highsmith, an Abaji, a Keon Ellis, somebody like that can go and, you could have like multiple guys on the court at any time, have guys in the rotation. If one guy misses, you got another guy that can step up type thing, right? Like if you can just get kind of 2, we kind of have like these 3-4 guys, if that you probably could do without. I do think that it's really good that that everyone is healthy, because now between now and, December, January, getting to the trade deadline, Lakers can kind of sit back and evaluate and see guys and kind of go, okay, like these are our top, 7 or 8 guys. At that point, everyone else is kind of expendable for the right move, right? You're not just making trades just to make trades. You're not just making moves just to make moves. But, I still think the Lakers could use and benefit from, having a piece or 2 that could kind of be part of the rotation, maybe even some upgrades in some key areas, and particularly wing depth and two-way play out on the perimeter. That'd be huge for this Lakers team. So again, you kind of have these 5 days to kind of sit back, take a breather, right? Let guys kind of get some rest, let guys kind of mend their bodies, like I mentioned, get treatment, all that stuff. But it also gives you time to kind of practice with everybody and kind of do some walkthroughs and do some things. Like I hope the Lakers aren't just like sitting around, take a day or so to, kick your legs up or whatever, sure. But, within the next day or 2, I'd like to see a couple, just even if, you do a first like kind of walk through practice and then, kind of continue and ramp up from there and then get like a full practice in before you go into the Utah game. I think that'd be very important because, again, we've had years like with Darvin Ham where like Lakers just wouldn't practice at all, right? And that doesn't really seem to be the case with JJ. I mean, obviously if you have, 5 games in 7 nights or something, it's like you're not getting a practice in between that time. But like, stretches like this, it's good to kind of get those practices because again, everybody's back now. Everyone's healthy. So this is, not even really since training kids, because you had guys like LeBron who was dealing with sciatica and stuff like that. Like, so this is really the first stretch that you have, because even a Dudero was out, all this stuff. Like, this is really the first stretch you have where everybody's healthy. Everybody can kind of, contribute. You can run and get different looks and try different things and, kind of just start to build that cohesiveness, build that chemistry. I think this is a very important kind of moment for the Lakers. And it's why I wanted to kind of talk about it, make a video about it, because I just, you need these moments, right? You need the moment, one, to just kind of catch your breath, right? And then you'll have, time during the All-Star break, stuff like that. But it's nice to kind of have this little pocket here where it's like, hey, get a little bit of a breather. We can get a couple practices in. We can kind of evaluate and see, okay, what do we want to be, right? Like, JJ Redick, as far as like the starting lineup goes, right? I don't think you can start Rui in that starting lineup. I love Rui. What he does, the floor spacing, the shooting, all of that is fantastic. But you saw even Utah just kind of blitz us in the beginning, right? Like, I think you need to have better balance in that starting unit. You can all, that doesn't mean you can't play Rui 25 minutes or whatever, 30 minutes if you want to. Like, there's no rule that says, because this guy didn't start, that you have to play him, 15 minutes. Or there's no rule that says, like, because this guy did start, you have to play them 30 minutes, right? Like, you're fine either way. So, if you like the units with Rui out there and stuff, but you need that defense of versatility out there, especially with the way that Luka likes to get going early. It's why I've talked about even Austin Reeves, as great as he has been. Right? Ideally, I'd kind of like him off the bench too, just because Luka wants to dominate the ball early on. Luka wants, how many times do we see him take half of his field goal attempts? He had like eight or nine field goal attempts in just the first quarter alone, right? Like that's usually what he likes to do. So to me, I look at it as like, okay, fine, let Luka be Luka, and then have those defensive versatile guys around you that can, kind of help spread you could go with I'd rather, like, if you want the floor spacing, right, have Jake LaRavia out there. Right, Jake LaRavia can knock down the three. He's shown that. Like, he hasn't been as consistent as Rui, but still, at least he's a guy that can knock down the open three. And then that way you can kind of let Luka be Luka. You have DeAndre Ayton. You have LeBron James out there still. Obviously, they're not gonna bring Austin Reeves off the bench, so that's why I don't really dive into it too much. So, okay, fine, you got Luka and Austin Reeves. I think you need to go with a Marcus Smart or a Jared Vanderbilt or a Jake LaRavia, somebody that can give you some kind of defense of pressure out there, out on the perimeter. And I'm hoping that, with these 5 days, like, you can do some practices and kind of see, okay, how does Luka, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, LeBron James, and DeAndre, how does that look? So you do one practice with those guys, right? Because we know what it looks like with Rui. Okay, then we do another practice with like Jake LaRavia. Then we do another practice with Marcus Smart, right? Like, and kind of get a look and get a feel. Okay, this was really good. Like, whatever. The Vando one kind of just wasn't quite what we wanted. The LaRavia one was really good because he plays so well off of LeBron or whatever, right? Like, we got that sample size, small sample size, but sample size nonetheless in that first Utah game, right? Okay, now it looks good in practice. Let's go with LaRavia this game and see how that looks, right? Maybe he can kind of build some confidence, right? And now if he can kind of continue to build confidence offensively, we already know he can defend and be versatile defensively. Right now, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, we got that piece, right? So to me, I look at it as like, if we can have kind of these days to kind of work on some stuff and figure some stuff out, right? Get guys, kind of recalibrated a little bit, right? Kind of just, again, have a bit of an exhale here. I think that is very important for this team. So then now, it's go time after that. Now you got this stretch, especially this stretch, right? Lakers have, counting this last Utah game we just played, their next 12 games are like incredibly winnable. Lakers should, right? Because I think they are good enough, should go like 12-0, right? I don't really necessarily expect them to, right? Because a couple things. One, teams just have good nights, right? There's just team shoots the lights out. It's really hard. It's why, you look at a team like Detroit, they're on a 10-game win streak. But, very, very few times you guys actually go on those kinds of extensive runs. You see like 6 games, 7 games, stuff like that. Like, I think the Lakers could easily go on like a 8-game win streak, something like that. But, it's hard. You get that game where you just don't have it that night, or the opposing team just shoots the lights out or whatever. And also the Lakers they like to kind of play down to their competition, which is frustrating for us fans. All teams do to an extent, unless you're just like OKC, who is young, athletic, and just like the deepest team in basketball, right? But like Lakers, we've seen they like to kind of tend to play down, and then that kind of puts you in that spot. You kind of let teams hang around a little bit, right? Even Utah for a stretch before LeBron went on that basically 12-0 run by himself, just like making plays, right? Like Utah was still in that game. It was kind of like, like we righted the ship in the third quarter, and then they came out in the fourth, and it was like, come on, man, do not let these guys back in the game. And then LeBron just like blew that game wide open. So I'm hoping, again, kind of refocus, recenter, get things in order. Hey, we got these next 10, 11 games that we can absolutely win all of them. Let's go out there and win. Because it's better than 11-4 being 21-4, right? And being, a top 3 team in all of basketball or whatever, right? Like we're tied right now with Denver for the 2 seed, right? Like those are the kind of things that we need to make sure that we're staying within range for. I'm not so worried about, seeding or anything. Like, Lakers get the 2 seed, great. But I'm not gonna look at this they have to get the 2 seed. It's to me, I care about health, right? We haven't had a healthy LeBron the last few years in the playoffs. Reeves dealt with some stuff. Luka, right? To me, it's more about health. Give me this team healthy come playoff time, and trust that they can get it done. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out as we enjoy these types of videos. I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.